What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, welcome to another edition of Quita in the Morning on the road as I am in Indianapolis here for the WNBA All-Star Game. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the meeting that happened yesterday, and we're going to talk about some of the activities that was had yesterday, some of the stuff that was said yesterday, a whole bunch of stuff we got to talk about, and we'll get into it because Queen in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Guys, thank you so much for rocking with me. If y'all are wondering, why are you here so early? What's going on? Well, the reason why I have had to do this live stream a little bit earlier is because I need to make it to the first media availability, which conflicts with the timing of the show. And so I was like, you know what? Still got to give the people what they want. Still got to give the show. However, we're going to do it a little bit earlier so I can make it no problem to media availability. Okay? Okay. Can we give a shout out to Shay for celebrating 2 months of membership on the channel. Very, very, very exciting. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, guys, let's first start off with talking about the news. I got about a hot 45 minutes that we have to do this show, and then I gotta go because I gotta use my credentials to the best of its ability. Okay. And first up, guys, I want to talk about the CBA, the thing that I feel like I keep talking about on this channel, guys. Yesterday was the day of the in-person CBA meeting, and you all remember, Stewie, I believe it was Stewie, saying that it may be spicy. Well, we're going to talk about that, okay? Yesterday, more than 40 WNBA players, more than 40, like the largest number for an in-person meeting, more than 40 players from seasoned vets like a NECA and Stewie, to the youngsters in Paige, Angel, and Caitlin. They all suited up to convene in Indianapolis for what the WNBPA, which is the Players Association, what they called the largest in-person player turnout in Player Association history. Okay? They sat face-to-face with league officials, including Kathy Engelbert, to hash out a new collective bargaining agreement. And while nobody stormed out, nobody flipped tables, let's just say they didn't also leave the room with confetti or hugs either. So let's talk about how it went down, guys. How did this whole thing go down? Well, the meeting lasted for, I believe, about 2 hours or so, and it was described as spirited by the WNBPA's executive director, Terry Carmichael Jackson. All right, so she called it spirited. All right, so players came in ready to discuss what they saw as a defining issue when it comes to this negotiation, and that begins and ends with revenue sharing. Now, yes, there's a lot of other stuff that's happening in the CBA. However, the big thing that players are talking about, the big thing that players want to discuss, the big thing that players actually want the WNBA to cave on a little bit, the major thing is revenue sharing. That's what it's all about in a lot of aspects. It's all about that rev share. And I gotta say, I get it. It makes sense to me, right? It absolutely makes sense that is like a key thing because it's a lot of money potentially at stake, right? It's a lot of money at stake because the player stance is clear. They're like, hey, this league is booming, right? We're seeing numbers up the wazoo. We're seeing fantastic stuff happen. Record ratings, record attendance, record expansion fees. Like, there's a lot of money flowing through, and players are like, you know what? We want a piece of that pie, right? We don't just want a salary increase, right? We don't just want a softer cap. We don't just want better player amenities. We also want a piece of future growth, which can be controlled by a real revenue sharing agreement. Okay. And I did want to quickly share a graphic that was posted yesterday that I thought was pretty fantastic. I don't have it in my normal like frame thing, but like look at this. Isn't this like the coolest photo ever? A bunch of players stuffed in an elevator taking a selfie. You see the youngsters, you see the OGs, like a lot of players that are represented in this photo. I just loved it, so I was like, you know what? I gotta put it in here. I gotta show the people the awesome photo that they took yesterday. I thought that was pretty fun. All right. Shavika says, love that pic. It's such a great picture. It is such a great picture, guys. And yeah, if you all, I did a deep dive in my previous original CBA video. I did a deep dive where I actually walked through the percentage of ownership that the WNBA has. And yeah, so if you all want to hear that, if you all want to learn about why rev sharing is a bit complicated and some of the things that the WNBA has to really think about, watch my show from about a week and a half ago. I pinned it to my channel. So if you go to my channel, that first video is the video where I walk through step by step everything you need to know about the CBA, including the percentage of ownership that the WNBA has. So if you all are curious about that, I did go over that in the past. Okay. All right. And so the question is, what are some players saying? Well, Nneka Ogwumike, she spoke to the AP and said, I'm encouraged, I'm just so inspired by the amount of players that showed up, the engagement that was there. That's really what it's all about, because the more that happens, the more that we're going to be able to get things done. I think today, we're going to be able to use this conversation to start rolling the ball on things. So that is what the WNBPA president Nneka Ogwumike had to say, and we heard from some other folks as well yesterday. We heard from Angel Reese, who said that the meeting was something that was very informative for her. She said, first time being able to see and hear the wording from both sides. I was really eager to know and understand what was going on. I'm sorry. So I'm very aware of what's going on right now. We won't stop until we get what we want. All right. We won't stop until we get what we want. And we also heard from co-host of Stud Buds, Courtney Williams, who gave us a lot more detail about her thoughts on the CBA meeting. And I want to show this because I thought it was really insightful, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just Courtney Williams who thought this, and I just wanted to highlight it for you all. Okay, let's play what Courtney Williams had to say after she left the meeting. All right. Okay, let's get into it. And also, guys, if y'all could please make sure to hit that like button. Again, it really does help the channel out a whole lot. Thank you very much. Okay.
We already 3.
I know, I gotta go to the room and take me a shot or two.
No, like 4.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That CBA meeting is just so much information, bro.
You good? I'm glad you went though, friend. Thank you.
Thank
you for representing us.
I definitely had to represent.
I wanted to go, but I had to hold it down for us.
You had to hold down the stream. But just being in there, oh my goodness, bro. It was like, it's just so much that come into play when you really got to think about.
Oh, Courtney, stop.
Okay, and then Natisha's hat came off. She went to get it again, and then Courtney was talking a little bit more about it, and I just gotta again, the thing I really like about the Stud Buds live stream, 72-hour live stream that they're doing, is that we really do get a better insight of specifically what players are really, really thinking, not just filtered from the lens of journalists. You can hear directly from them.
To get my energy back right. I gotta go get my energy back right and hyped up for the weekend again, cause
Exactly.
that meeting was just, I ain't gonna lie, it was just so informative. But you know how like you just feel like I don't know, I just feel like I just didn't know enough. So I like majority of the time in the meeting, I kind of just had to sit and really just listen and try and like digest what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, Courtney was basically like, this was a lot because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know, and I didn't know necessarily that I didn't know it until the meeting, and I was listening and engaging, and it was a lot, which is understandable because when we think about this, the WNBA is filled with players, not necessarily business owners, not necessarily people who like fully understand like the back end of truly how stuff works. And how you have to future plan and how you have to do a whole bunch of stuff. And so like, yes, there's some fantastic people who fully know the business side of things in the WNBA. However, there is just a lot of players who are just players, right? They're regular people who may not totally understand the full back end of things. And these meetings is a great opportunity to be able to
We already 3.
I know.
It's a great opportunity to actually learn what's going on, right? And then I did also want to show another part of their stream as well, because y'all, they were fantastic. I'm just saying.
Oh well, it's just that I just felt like it was just taking in all the information. I felt like that was stressing me out. Like it was so much information, bro. Yeah, it's like. And then you gotta think about it, like, there's so many people in there that got an opinion, and I got an opinion.
Oh, your opinion is very strong.
My opinion's so strong.
Your opinion is very strong. You're a friend. Don't worry about it.
Yo,
Let me get you some spray.
You need to put me in a shot, yo.
I'm getting you.
All right.
And it's just like, I'm gonna get my energy back, right? I just had, you in that meeting, and you just trying to get all this you getting all this information, and it's just like, I'm trying to process all this information, and then on top of processing all the information, I'm like, but hey, it's all a part of negotiation, huh? Little give, little take, little give. You know what? Let me listen.
But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all, so you can hear it straight from Courtney's mouth herself, as we hear what she thinks about the CBA negotiations and like what's been happening and whatnot, because again, this is insight that you won't get from an article, because like, again, this is their stream, and so they're way more open to just talk and whatnot, whereas they may or may not be in another setting. So again, I am always of the mind that, hey, we got to hear directly from these players. And Courtney Williams and Tisha Heidemann, y'all, the 72-hour stream, y'all, they was streaming, they was going crazy yesterday. They was at a party with all the WNBA players, and like it was a whole thing, guys. So they gonna be on, they own, well, I think their stream is like black right now. I think they're asleep or something. And so yeah, anyway, they gonna be up soon, and rock out with Stud Buds on Twitch, okay? So now we got to figure out, where do we go from here? So you've heard from some of the players, right, and their thoughts about the negotiations and whatnot. Well, where we go from here is the union. They issued a fiery-ish statement, I would say. They released a statement yesterday saying, earlier today, the Women's National Basketball Players Association and the Women's National Basketball Association met in person to discuss their ongoing negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, CBA, alongside the WNBPA staff and our CBA advisory team. More than 40 players, including all-stars, executive committee members, and player representatives, attended the meeting. This marked the largest in-person player turnout in union history during CBA negotiations. The WNBA's response to our proposal fails to address the priorities we voiced from day one we opted out. From the day we opted out. A transformational CBA that delivers our rightful share of the business that we've earned, improves working conditions, and ensures the success we create lifts both today's players and generations that follow. We've told the league and teams exactly why their proposal falls so short. This business is booming. Media rights, ratings, revenue, team valuations, expansion fees, attendance, and ticket sales are all up in historic fashion. But shortchanging the working women who make this business possible stalls growth. The only thing more unsustainable than the current system is pretending it can go on forever. It's not complicated. We are committed to the fight. We are committed to returning to the negotiating table. And we will not stop until we achieve the transformational CBA this moment demands. That, my friends, was the statement that the WNBPA released after they had their meeting. So clearly, there still needs to be a lot of work to be done to make this thing work. And guys, I'm not surprised by it. I'm really not, because this is what happens. I'm not a part of a union. However, I know people who've been a part of a union, and it's as Courtney said at the end of that clip. Hey, it's a little give and a little take here and there, and at the end of the day, will the players get all that they want? No. Will the league get all that they want? No. But the hope is that they'll be able to eventually meet in the middle. Because ultimately this is a process and everybody has to commit to that, and the WNBA is committed to that. The CBA or the Players Association is committed to that, and we'll see ultimately what happens, guys. A reminder, the deadline for the CBA is October 31st. They have to have a new CBA in the books by then. There's been talks about a possible walkout. We talked about that yesterday. If you all want to hear NECA's response to that, you can see my my show yesterday. A thing to note is it's very clear from what has been said by players and the Players Association. There's still a gap between what the players want and what the league wants. And so we will ultimately see what happens. Shamika says, I'm bracing myself for a lockout. Here's the thing. I hope that does not happen. For the sake of the league, I think that could decimate the league if it happens. I think this is one of those things where, like, sure, in theory, it would make sense and maybe players would be able to get what they want. However, I think, whenever you have a stoppage in work, I think it takes forever to get back to where you were before, whether it's caused by the league in a lockout or whether it's caused by the players in a walkout, right? So all right. Con Lenny says, I think there would be a lockout if the owners feel like they're screwed financially or that the WNBPA are not negotiating in good faith. Well, we'll see. We will see what happens. Again, this is a process. So, as I said before, the executive director of the WNBPA was talking after it was over, and she said that, hey, this is a part of the process. She does think that they are on track to meet the October 31st deadline. Or she said, we're on track to get back to meetings. And so, we'll see. She says, I don't know. This is Terry Carmichael Jackson, guys. She says, I don't know that I'm going to say progress, but we had a spirited conversation talking about yesterday's meeting. And then she said, I think we have plenty of time in terms of getting a deal done by the deadline. We also heard, guys, from Kathy Engelbert. And Kathy ended up saying it was very constructive dialogue. I think obviously part of the process is to go back and forth, listen to the players. They listen to us and the owners who represent the board of governors. I still feel really optimistic that we can get something transformational done by the end, but it is a process. Again, process. And guys, I gotta say, does is transformational like the word that defines Kathy Engelbert's life? I feel like she's every time she's talking, she's always saying something about transformational, and games of consequence. I feel like those are the two phrases that Kathy Engelbert says a lot. And I mean, we are in a very transformational period right now for the WNBA, and this CBA, once it's fully negotiated, will help to spur along the next generation of women's basketball players, and that's pretty exciting, and that is pretty transformational. As y'all know, if y'all been rocking with the channel, y'all understand that I like what the league has done, and leaps and bounds that they've grown at. Absolutely, it's the players who have been rocking and rolling and whatnot, putting a great product on the floor, but it's also the front office as well. It's also the deals and whatnot that Kathy Engelbert has done as well. And I know not everybody likes her, but at the same time, I don't think the WNBA would be in the position that it is financially if it wasn't for her. All right, so let's see what you all have to say. I'm very, very much curious to hear your thoughts on this situation. What do you think about what is going on in the world of the CBA? Because the league is expanding to 18 teams by 2023, or 2030, and you know there's still some work to do. There's still some work to do to make sure that by the time we get to 2030, the players have the things that they need, and some of the things that they want, as well as the league has the things that they need financially, and the things that they want as well. Again, this is a give and take. Okay. So was this meeting spicy? I would say probably not quite, or at least what's being said. But it was a good step to finally getting to a real consistent dialogue. The Players Association submitted multiple kind of offers of sorts, or proposals, I should say, and the WNBA sent one last month, and so like they're trying to really get this ball rolling soon, and as always, guys, I'll keep you all posted on what is happening related to the CBA. A says, my experience has been that most people are self-interested and not really concerned about future generations. I mean, probably, but you know, the Players Association says that they're focused on the future, and you know, I do tend to believe them, though I do wonder, like, you know, to what effect will the future investments that will affect other players, to what effect will that be a huge sticking point, right? Versus benefits that players can get right now, right? Okay. Let's continue on, guys. Let's continue on. Spaghetti-o. Hold on, guys. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. There you go. There we go. All right, guys. Again, I'm on the road, so like it's always difficult to get my reel set up because I usually have like a screen that I can like make sure I got all my stuff in order from, but I don't have that here. Anyway, let's talk about All-Star Weekend. There's a lot of All-Star Weekend hype. There's a lot of players and fans dressing up in their best of digs, but I do want to talk to you all about one company that has the hat game on lock, and that is Branded Bills. Because if you want some awesome quality hats, Branded Bills is your source, regardless of what type of hat that you like. Snapbacks, trucker hats, whatever type of hat, bucket hats, or even performance tees. They do have the perfect mix of comfort, style, and function. I know, of course, you've seen a lot of hats before. Hats are a thing. Everybody wears hats. However, if you have not been rocking with Branded Bills, you are definitely missing out because they do have a lot of premium materials and they really do show attention to detail. Y'all have seen my Branded Bill hats. I don't have them with me right now. However, my favorite one is the Chicago one with the Chicago, like with the stars. It looks pretty awesome in my opinion. But even if maybe you don't want to get a Chicago hat, maybe you are a big fan of Iowa, or maybe you're a big fan of LSU or South Carolina, you can check out their campus collection page where you can see the various partnerships that they have with various colleges. They have over 30 colleges on lock, and you can absolutely wear the hat that suits the school that you like the most. So go over to check out Branded Bills. Go to brandedbills.com and use code BBQuita for 15% off your first order. That is code BBQUITA at brandedbills.com. Okay. Let's move on, guys. I do want to talk really quickly about some of the other stuff that happened yesterday, including the WNBA Changemakers initiative. This is something that this is the second annual Changemaker initiative that happened yesterday, and I did just want to highlight it real quick. They did make an awesome video, and I was like, you know what? Instead of talking about it, let me just let Kathy Engelbert tell you about it in this video.
Hi, this is Kathy Engelbert, WNBA Commissioner. We're here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, tipping off 2025 AT&T All-Star Weekend, making a huge impact on the community here with a big volunteer effort. We're making 25,000 period packs to help young girls in the community, amongst many other activities. We're going to be doing a junior WNBA clinic later today, and all weekend just having an impact here in the community in Indianapolis.
But yeah, that is WNBA Changemakers. This happened yesterday at the in Indianapolis, and of course you see Courtney Williams on stage, and the legend Tamika Catchings was there as well. Tamika Catchings actually recently got a mural of herself in Indianapolis, which was also very, very, very cool. Maybe I'll be able to meet up with a legendary player like a Tamika Catchings. That'd be pretty awesome. Some other stuff that happened yesterday is the fact that we finally have found out what's going on. It became official yesterday that Caitlin Clark will not be participating in All-Star activities in terms of like playing in the All-Star game and participating in the 3-point contest. And so it became official yesterday that she was replaced by Slim. So the player who a lot of people talked about Slim and how she was snubbed and all this other stuff. Slim is in the All-Star game now, okay? She is officially in the All-Star game. So shout out to Slim. Also, guys, we saw Brianna Jones also get added to added to the list as a WNBA All-Star. So that's pretty fantastic as well. A couple things to note about both of those players is that Brianna Jones is replacing Satu Sabally. And previously we saw Kayla McBride replace Ryan Howard as well. So a thing to note, guys, is that both Brianna and Slim will be playing for Team Sandy Brondello, or Team Clark, who is coached by Sandy Brondello. And this is the first All-Star appearance for Brittany Sykes, who has been rocking and rolling with the Washington Mystics. And for Brianna Jones, this is the second year in a row that she is a WNBA All-Star, and the fourth time in her career that she was named to the squad. So shout out to both of those players for getting the nod. And here's the thing, sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes you are not on the first list, however, you're there, right? Sometimes it's not like how long it took you to get to a place. It's the fact that you got there, that I think is pretty fantastic. Also, guys, I do want to get to some breaking news that actually just came down the pike about a couple minutes ago. And that is the fact that Lexi Hull is replacing Caitlin Clark in the 3-point contest, okay? This is officially official. I'm going to read the whole thing because this is breaking news. They just put this out about 20 minutes ago. It says, Indiana Fever guard Lexi Hull has been named by WNBA commissioners Kathy Engelbert to replace her injured teammate guard Caitlin Clark in the 2025 WNBA Starry 3-point contest. ESPN will broadcast the Kia WNBA Skill Challenge and the WNBA Starry 3-point contest from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, home of the Fever, on Friday, July the 18th, which is today. The events are a prelude to the WNBA All-Star Game. We all get that. Now, in her fourth year in the WNBA, Hull ranks fourth in the WNBA in 3-point field goal percentage this season, after connecting on 29 of her 62 attempts from behind the arc. The 6'1" Hull, a first-round pick of the Indiana Fever in 2022, is averaging 7.6 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. And Hull will make her debut in this event against 4 other guards, including the previous champ, Alicia Gray of the Atlanta Dream, Sonia Citron of the Washington Mystics, Kelsey Plum of the LA Sparks, and the New York Liberty's Sabrina Ionescu, who, if y'all don't remember, in 2023, Sabrina, she ended up setting the all-time record when she scored 37 points in the final round of the 3-point contest. Anyway, that's the news. That is some breaking news that literally just came down the pike. It just happened as of 27 minutes ago. So, I also, while I'm doing the show in real time, I'm also literally producing the show, and I'm constantly checking social media. I'm constantly checking Twitter to see, okay, did something new happen? Did something new happen that I don't know about, that I'm not talking about, that I can add into the show? And this is one of those things where breaking news, that Lexi Hull does replace Caitlin Clark in the contest. I was thinking that they were going to have Kelsey Mitchell do it. To be honest with you, I'm actually, I was not expecting Lexi Hull, but I knew it had to be somebody from the Indiana Fever. You can't have no one from the Fever represented in that contest. And so it's cool to see Lexi Hull entering in that. I'm assuming she's going to be able to get some shots up earlier today, and she probably also got some shots up yesterday, just trying to prepare to shoot off the rack, because shooting off the rack is very, very different than catching and shooting. And so, of course, the shot mechanics is the same. However, it's the way that it all happens that can be a bit difficult, or can be something that you have to get used to. Okay, so originally this was the list of players that were going to be participating in in the contest. However, that has been changed, and we have Caitlin Clark being replaced by her teammate, Lexi Hull. Okay? Okay. We also have something else happening tonight as well. So while we have the 3-point contest, and that's all fine and dandy, we also do have the skills competition as well, which should be pretty fun. Again, that's featuring former Indiana Fever Erica Wheeler, Courtney Williams, stud bud herself, and we'll see how Courtney does. Because Courtney has had a blast. Her and Atisha, they've had a blast on their stream, and I'm like, man, I don't know how you gonna be able to function the rest of the weekend, but I guess they're gonna try. We got Alicia Gray, again, the winner of it last year. We got Natasha Cloud and Skylar Diggins. All right. Zombie says, I love Lexi. I just said we'll see. Sabrina and Alicia are my favorites to win. Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. I think Alicia Gray was so fantastic last year that I'm like, you know what? Might as well ride with her again. Might as well ride with her to end up winning the whole thing. All right. Okay. Row 2 says the skills challenge will be a good one. I think so. Okay. I really think so. Looks like people are arguing in the chat. Sheila says Robin Roberts of GMA is out there with all 13 mascots. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was thinking about going to see the GMA stuff this morning, but I was like, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to do the stream. I got to do the stream because we got to talk as a collective, right? And so yeah. Anyway, let's continue on, guys. I do want to spend some time just talking about my experience in Indianapolis. So here's the thing. Number one, Indianapolis is awesome. I got here early yesterday. And then I made a couple of videos. I made more videos than I put out because, again, internet and being able to quickly get stuff uploaded is actually an issue. So I have another video that's ready to go. And hopefully I'll be able to get it uploaded sometime today. But yeah, anyway, Indianapolis has been great. This town is I've heard people call it sleepy, a sleepy town, and whatnot. I actually like that. Here's the deal. Yesterday when I got here, you all know I took y'all on a tour or whatever where I walked around and showed y'all the spots that's in the area and whatnot. And here's the thing. I found out that I parked about 4 blocks away from Gamebridge Fieldhouse yesterday. And then I left, and then I came back, and then I ended up parking a block and a half away. We had it was a evening media reception thing. And I parked a block and a half away from Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Guys, that is not possible in Chicago. There is no way that you can find parking right around the corner from the United Center for basically cheap. I parked, I think it was $2 an hour to park, again, down the street from Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That is unheard of. This place is so affordable. I gotta tell you. From going to McDonald's, and y'all know I shouldn't be eating McDonald's. I do, but anyway, that's my metric is McDonald's and parking. Okay. When I got here, of course, I was very, very hungry, so I went to McDonald's, and guys, a double cheeseburger, at the McDonald's I went to, was $1.60 or something like that. And guys, I have not seen a double cheeseburger less than $2 in a long time. I just gotta say, I love it. I think this is fantastic. The affordability of this place. I think it really is great. Again, $2 for parking, $2 an hour. I couldn't believe it. And like the place is like, it felt very empty yesterday, which was helpful because I was doing a lot of recording. But yeah, I like the place. Like I think this is a really nice city. And I'm not a person who always has to be doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like I don't always have to be out and about. I'm a homebody. And so in a lot of ways, I like the laid back feel of this place. Like I think this place is fantastic. So like, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So anyway, shout out to Indianapolis. Yesterday I saw a whole bunch of stuff. I took y'all on a tour, but like yesterday my day like started off kind of like on a sour note. Like I had some hotel issues and I had to change hotels and all that stuff, which was very annoying. I didn't like that at all. However, and I had I was very annoyed with it. And literally once I kind of was like, you know what? Let me not let that ruin my day. Let me enjoy and see what all there is to offer. And I did that, and I had a blast, guys. I went to the media live preview, which was really, really cool to see for WNBA Live. And I met two people from the Next that were pretty awesome. Like they cover the Connecticut Sun beat. And they were awesome to talk to. I met a guy who works with the Indiana Fever. He works on their like media team or something like that. And he was like, I watch your channel. And I was like, what? Really? Anyway, it's like there was like a lot of people who were very, very nice to me, and like just very, very cool people. And toured the area, and like some of the activations are pretty cool. The Google booth, if you're going to WNBA Live today, go to the Google booth first. All right? Try to get there first where it's not a crazy, crazy long line, because their interactive stuff is pretty fantastic. Okay? All right? So definitely go to the Google booth, the Google Pixel booth. But yeah, it was a really cool time just like touring everything and checking stuff out. And I gotta say, man, it helped to lift my spirits a whole lot, just like experiencing that. And then just again walking around, seeing some awesome people on the internet, just seeing some regular people. I ended up going to guys, at WNBA Live, when I was doing the tour or whatever, at the end of it I went to the WNBA shop and I actually bought, here's what I bought. I bought this, all-star flag. So I bought this. This was like, guys, I didn't see any prices on their stuff. And so I was like, okay, this is probably going to be like, I mean, this is like a small thing, but I was thinking, oh, this is going to be like $25. This was only $10. And, like, I don't know, like, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as expensive as I thought. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to buy one thing because it's going to be expensive or whatever. But yeah, that was only $10 for the flag. So like, I think that's a pretty good deal, I gotta say. And just sort of experiencing the place. When I was there at the WNBA store at WNBA Live, I ran into a GM. Can someone guess the GM I ran into? I'm gonna give y'all about a minute, and if no one has guessed it, I will tell y'all the answer. Okay? I will tell y'all the answer. Okay? After a minute. So somebody guess. All right. Keena says, ooh, what a steal. Yeah, that's a good deal. Not bad at all. Absolutely. Like that was a good price. $10 for, I mean, again, this is not the most expensive thing in the world, like in terms of like the material and whatnot, but like I have seen stuff like this sell for way more than that. And so I thought that was a good price. All right. No, not Jeff P. Not Jeff P. Not Jeff P. It was a GM that I did not expect to see, and it was a GM that did not expect anybody to know who they were. That's my hint. That is my hint. Okay, that's my hint, guys. It's not a well-known GM, not a well-known GM at all, but it is a GM I've talked about in the past. All right, so that's another one. Oh my goodness, Tracy. Man, Tracy going in on the Aces, said not the Aces. Yep, not the Aces, because the Aces do not have a GM. They do not have a GM, guys. They do not have a GM. All right, actually, let me do this ad read, and on the other side of this ad read, we about to announce a winner if somebody can get it. I don't think I've seen anybody get it just yet. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's got it. But yeah, let me do this ad read, and then we gonna announce who got it right. Okay. Where's my stuff at? I tell you, sometimes with this setup that's sort of like on the go type of setup, sometimes stuff can be pretty difficult. This graphic is messed up too. Oh no. All right, so keep your guesses in the chat. Keep your guesses in the chat. All right, let's do this. So guys, I've talked about this company before in the past. I'm gonna keep talking about this company because they do some great work, and it is Shady Rays, guys. You know, the summer is here, and you know everyone's wearing sunglasses. And here's the thing: not all sunglasses are built the same, because Shady Rays is a different type of sunglass company. This is a company that has a lot of stylish glasses, which is awesome. But style that's actually built for real life, that is actually durable. So polarized lenses, durable frames, and best of all, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to buy a pair of Shady Rays. The fun part also is that if you lose or break them, even on day one, if you lose or break the glasses, don't worry, Shady Rays will send you a replacement. No muss, no fuss. Don't have to worry about it. You don't have to give a whole explainer of, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah happened. No, they will send you a replacement, and you will be good to go for the next time you go outside and you want to rock some sunglasses, guys. And they have a whole bunch of styles, men's, women's, kids, everything. They kind of got it all situated, including, for those who are like me, they have prescription sunglasses as well. Shady Rays is eyewear that absolutely has your back. And so I paired up with them to bring you all an exclusive offer. Head over to shadyrays.com and use code QUITA, Quita, for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That is promo code QUITA at shadyrays.com. All right, guys. Let's get back to your thoughts. Has anyone got it? Let me see. Has anyone? Yes, a lot of y'all got it. Wow. Okay. So shout out to IQ. Shout out to CB, Amelia. Okay. Row 2. Okay. Sheila, Cheryl, Polo, Chi-Town Calvin. Yes, y'all. It was Ohima Nyan of the Golden State Valkyries. Guys, I was in the store and I saw her and I was like, that looks like Ohima. So I like walked around, I looked at her again. I was like, I think that's her. And so I was like, hey, do you work for the Golden State Valkyries? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, are you Ohima? She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. She did not have on anything Golden State related, right? She didn't have anything Golden State related. She did have like that, like the color scheme. She did have that, but nothing on her thing said Golden State. Nothing. And you know, because I've talked about her quite a bit, and I've watched some of the press conferences she's been in and whatnot, and so like I knew what she looked like, but I don't think she expected anybody to know who she was. And she was like, I'm just trying to I'm being incognito. And it was clear that like she definitely did not want like to have a long conversation. She's very nice, very very nice lady, very very nice lady. But yeah, it was definitely like I got the vibes that like, yeah, don't bother her. But I did tell her that she's doing some awesome stuff, and I congratulated her on what the Valkyries have done so far. And I was like, hey, fantastic job, you're doing your thing. But like, it was very clear that like, she didn't want anybody to notice her. She just wanted to go in the store and check out some stuff, and then leave. So yeah. So I did not interview her, but I did tell her that she's doing a great job, and whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. But today I got to get some interviews. I have to get some interviews today. Hopefully that will be a thing, guys. That is the stream. I have to go because the WNBA the press conferences, some of the media stuff is going to start in about I think about 20 minutes, and I have to like hurry up and jet to the arena. So guys, I do want to thank y'all so much for rocking with me. This is a fun show, and I love to do it because I love talking to you all. W Brazil says she was trying to be on the DL and Quita outed her. Yeah, and like literally after I said that to her, I was like, I'm gonna leave you alone because I'm not gonna bother you. But then she was gone. She was like, I think she was probably like, I don't want anybody else to know who I am. I gotta go. Oh man, she was like, I gotta go. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna not be shy. Guys, stay locked in on this channel, because hopefully I can go live sometime later on. In the afternoon, I probably will go live. Also, if y'all see me in person, let's talk. And also, if y'all are willing to be on, if I see y'all in person and y'all are willing to be on camera, let me know, because I would love to like do a compilation of awesome people of the internet in Indy, just like talking and saying some stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye. Let me go try to interview some players. We're gonna see what we can do. But actually, first let me make sure I got my I gotta do my outro. Okay. All right, guys. See y'all soon. Bye bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set,